and welcome back to Ship of Fools, a nautical D&D actual play podcast. My name is Hannah McLean, and I am your dungeon master on this nautical adventure. Joining me today, I have Andy Latai.
Finn Fisher.
Wow. No Lonnie Steve.
I'm dark and gritty now.
No, you're not. Not yet.
The ocean hungers for blood.
Also joined by No Lonnie Stevenson.
I'm Regin Starkweather. I'm shy and retiring now.
Well, but you have the same voice, just higher pitched.
Yes, that's how that works.
And Taylor Wallace.
Malachi Kassir.
Who's not doing a hard pivot with his character.
You see, I said that in the normal voice. But Malachi's a really chipper guy now.
Okay.
What's there to be chipper about? The world is torment.
Why would you say something like that?
This is no place for you, Starkweather. Run on home to your toys.
Oh, okay. I'm in me mum's car.
Okay,
And
great.
scene.
Okay.
Welcome to episode 24, everyone.
Holy shit, that's a lot of episodes.
It really is a lot of
Sure
episodes.
is.
Quite a few. And yeah, we are back in the charming little seaside town of Gillsbury. Let's do a quick recap and then we will dive right in. So, last episode, everyone woke up from an unsettling series of dreams. Finn woke up from his, was underwater, speaking to Kathoth. Meanwhile, up top, Regin and Malachi kind of processed their mutual unsettling dreams.
Processed is a generous term.
Processed, hear the air quotes around that, managed to make their way down to the beach to look for Finn, had a quick conversation with Nurgle where they learned that Finn was underwater. Shortly after, meanwhile, underwater, Finn got some lore, some information from Kathoth, who introduced himself as a follower of Finn's father, the Lurker in the Deep, and as who had been sent to tell Finn that his father was requesting his presence at a center of power that exists in the kind of the center of a coral reef near Gillsbury, and that Finn should be there for a certain kind of like spike in power that was going to happen at midnight tonight, and that the Lurker in the Deep wanted him to be there for some reason. Finn then came back, rendezvoused with Regin and Malachi, and the group collectively, Regin and Malachi stayed up while Finn got some sleep, and the next day you guys kind of, with some time to kill before the party, again in quotes, at the center of power, you decided to do some investigating into John, the kind of mysterious man who had just kind of come to Gillsbury for no reason. Learned that John actually seems pretty legit and like he really did just come from the big city and wanted to settle down. However, Mr. Gar, the man he's staying with, seems like he was asking kind of a lot of pressing questions and also had something magical in his room, which there isn't really any explanation for. So, that's where we left off, is with you guys kind of talking about maybe going to talk to Father Ceviche and seeing if he knows anything about, like, a priest from the mainland who came to town a few weeks ago, as well as just it's about midday now. You guys have like a bit of time, so you've still got like 12 hours or so before you're supposed to be out at the center of power. You would know that Finn, you have a kind of a general idea of where this reef is. You know that if you guys get like a fishing boat or something like that, it will take like about half an hour for you to get your boat out to there, and then you're gonna have to dive into the reef, and you're not entirely sure how long that will take.
All right, so Regin's still messed up from the lack of sleep, right?
Correct. I have one level of exhaustion.
What do we need to fix that?
A long rest.
You need a long rest, gets rid of a level of exhaustion.
We also still need to talk to Father Ceviche.
Hey, is there anything else that could get rid of exhaustion that we talked about before?
The only other thing that gets rid, you need like a greater restoration spell, which is a 5th level spell.
I think I might know a guy.
No, you don't. You would know that Father Ceviche does not have access to 5th level spells.
All right, I don't
We're
know that.
heroes, and we don't even have access to that.
Oh,
Yeah.
did I not tell you that Min is also like a 15th level cleric?
No.
Is that not in the document?
Min who teaches at the one futon schoolhouse.
Futon.
Futon?
Wow, clearly none of you listened to our last session.
That is correct. I did not.
All right. Well,
Yeah, so you guys had talked about going to see Father Ceviche. Otherwise, Regin, you guys can, if you want to, you have time to do a long rest if you wanted like a nice afternoon nap before having to head to the, I think you would know, Finn, just generally from being around here and also from kind of like, you know, connection with the ocean, etc., that like, I say that you don't know how long it'll take you to get to the bottom of the coral reef, but like, probably not more than an hour. Like, we're not talking like it's gonna take hours to get down there. We're talking like...
I mean, Malachi sinks pretty fast, right?
You guys hold on to me, I'll weigh you down like how they used to weigh down prisoners that they were killing.
Oh, great.
Who told you about mafia executions?
Malachi's always wearing cement shoes.
Cool. So it's less a matter of just like sinking to the bottom of the ocean and more a matter of like getting inside the reef and like finding where you need to be. Because yes, just sinking to the bottom of the ocean won't take you that long. It's more of just that like you don't know exactly where the center of power is. You need to find it. But all that said, there is time for a long rest if you want
Yeah,
one.
you said it's like what, like noonish,
Yeah.
roughly? Okay.
Or if there's other things you want to do in the town. Currently, in the moment, you guys are at Min and Baylene's house still. And you'd kind of said that you were going to go talk to Father Ceviche.
Yeah, I think we should talk to
Okay.
Father Ceviche.
Yeah.
I forget
Agreed.
why, but we should.
Well, we want to ask him about the mystery priests, and also, like, he wanted to talk to me, because I am a sparkling conversationalist.
It's true.
Ooh.
You are?
Yeah, we should talk to Father Ceviche, actually.
Cool.
Hey, I have an idea. What if we go talk to Father Ceviche?
Great, good guys. I'm glad that we came to the conclusion to do the same thing we were going to do. Cool. So, you guys, so you guys begin to head across town to the, like, chapel, the chapel, combination chapel, one bench schoolhouse.
Taco Bell.
Yeah.
We made that joke, too.
As you guys walk, Finn, remind me what your armor class is.
Oh, I don't like that. 14.
14. Okay, cool. You...
Trip on a loose seashell and break your patella.
As you guys are walking, kind of along the path, you all hear a little shout of, "Hey!" from behind you, and then Finn, you get bonked in the back of the head with a rock. You take 2 bludgeoning damage, and you spin around to see a child, a young boy, is standing there with this little, very, like, rascally looking little kid, with kind of, like, a slingshot in his hand, and this kind of, like, slightly, like, sticking up hair, and he kind of, like...
Guppy!
He grins as he, sees you guys, and he points at Finn, and he's like, "I gotcha!"
I whip out my warhammer.
Malachi is, like, fully, like, on the defense against this child. He's very suspicious of children now.
I whip out my warhammer and I am stalking towards this kid. I'm ready to play whack-a-mole.
Nope, I do grab Regin.
No, let him go, Malachi.
Finn, what? Who are you?
I'm Guppy O'Connor, and that kid...
Okay. Go on.
I'm Guppy O'Connor, and this guy he does magic that's bad. Take that.
I do magic that's awesome.
I've
No,
changed my
it
mind.
sucks. It's
I've
lame.
sworn myself to Guppy O'Connor.
Reagan, no!
You're not a paladin.
Yeah, Finn, your magic sucks and I hate it.
Yeah, this guy gets it.
Finn, your magic's
Yeah.
beautiful, Finn. It's fine.
Thanks.
What's your problem, kid?
I've been wondering that for years.
Well,
Sorry, that was rude. Why do you think his magic is bad?
he looks like he's kind of...
I need at least 3 sources.
APA format.
he doesn't quite know what to do with Malachi. He looks like he's kind of like stepping back very slightly because, Malachi's a pretty intimidating dude.
Malachi big.
But he kind of, like, wipes his nose and he goes, like, well, it is, it comes from the lurker in the deep who's evil and sinks ships and makes them die. So, it's bad, and Finn sucks. And he sticks out his tongue at Finn.
Mr. O'Connor, you know that ships aren't alive, right? Most ships are not alive.
Yeah, but there's people on them, duh.
I'm gonna squat down. I have been stalking towards the
to?
child with a warhammer, but I'm gonna put that back and I'm gonna squat down and be like, "Where are your parents, Guppy?"
They're like in the house over there.
Do they know you're out here slingshotting rocks at people's heads?
Yes.
That's pretty rude, you know.
Who died, Guppy?
The rock didn't ask to be picked up and thrown somewhere.
That's a big question to ask someone that you just met.
Yeah, I don't care. I'm really tired.
He just kind of like glares at you and doesn't really say anything.
Okay, that's fine. Go home or else we're gonna hit you with a bigger rock than you hit Finn with.
Whoa.
Yeah,
no.
this one. And I point to Malachi.
You can't.
Exactly.
I control myself.
I feel like you can't. I live here and people like know me, so you can't really.
Finn also lives
Yeah, and everyone
here.
knows that you're the worst, Guppy.
I don't think that's true, Finn.
How old is this kid?
Yeah.
Is this kid wearing a propeller beanie?
Emotionally, yes.
Is this kid like 10?
Yes.
Okay, Finn.
This is fully a child. And he and
Okay.
Finn clearly have beef.
Okay, well, I pick up the rock. This isn't yours anymore. Good day to you, sir. I turn around and start walking towards the chapel.
That's my best slingshot rock.
Oh, well, you threw it at Finn, so actually here, Finn, this is yours now.
Wow.
Finders keepers, kid.
Laws of finders keepers.
Hey, Nurgle, can you hold on to this for me?
We keep walking.
Nurgle does. You guys start to walk away to the chapel. Guppy O'Connor just kind of like crosses his arms and glares at you. Nurgle does that thing with his wing that's like he points to his eyes and then points to Guppy O'Connor as you're walking away.
Do we know, Finn, who are...
Oh, I'm sorry you guys had to see that. He's the worst.
Finn, well, okay, that person is a child. But also, do his parents also think... Where did he get that from? Like, why does he think you suck so bad?
And I know we like talk about this.
You remember that his dad really doesn't like you. Yeah.
His dad's a jerk. He doesn't like me either.
Why? Just because of your father down under?
Yeah. My Australian father.
Yeah, he made you a Vegemite sandwich. 6 feet tall and full of muscles.
I guess apparently some sailors have a weird, inexplicable dislike of a horrible sea monster. Go figure, right?
Who knew?
I hold eye contact with Finn.
I stare back. I think we're just like doing a staring contest. I'm excited.
I lean in.
I lean in.
Okay.
I'm not blinking.
Opposed strength check.
Why would that be strength?
It would be
Is this for a
intimidation.
staring contest? That would be Constitution. I
No,
think.
our noses are touching now.
Whoa. Okay, I pull back a little
Nope.
bit.
Okay, I put my hand between your mouths.
I lick Malachi's hand.
I slap you.
Ooh, does it taste salty?
It does. It tastes like a salt lick.
No, it doesn't.
I do it sometimes while he's asleep.
Malachi has very sensitive skin. He would notice.
I'm very delicate.
This is a disaster.
Was there a reason you were staring at Finn, or are you good?
Yeah, no, I'm good.
Cool. So you guys continue on. There are no more disturbances along the way. You make your way to this little chapel, and you kind of go in. The door's slightly open. It's a nice day. It's the middle of the day. You see a kind of a small room that has, like, it looks very much like you'd imagine, kind of like an old country church. As this kind of like seaside town fishing, the kind of deity with the most prominence here is the goddess of the sea, one of the old gods. And so you see it's her symbol that's kind of like around here. And you see that Father Ceviche, you know, Finn, that he's got like a little office kind of off to the side where his like chambers are, where he sleeps, and then there's also like a little kind of like study. And so you lead Malachi and Regin there. You kind of like knock on the door, and Father Ceviche's like,
Yoo-hoo!
"Oh, come in, Finn." You enter,
Hey.
he sort of like looks up from behind his desk where he kind of has some like papers and stuff like that spread out in front of him, and he smiles warmly as you guys come in, and he's like, Finn, I was hoping you would come to visit me, and you brought your friends. Good, I'm glad to get to talk to all of you a little bit more. Come in, sit down. There's like a few kind of like comfortable chairs in there.
I stand behind the chair that Finn sits in.
Alright, cool. I sit down.
I sit down.
He sort of like leans back in his chair and kind of like smiles, takes a sip from some sort of hot drink that he's got with him, and he's like, so it's good to have you back in town, Finn. It's been a while.
Yeah, it's good to be back. Good to see everybody again.
It's been like a
Yeah.
month, right?
Yes.
That's a long time.
Yes, a lot can happen in a month.
Yeah, I gained like 5 levels.
Wow, good for you. It's wild how you can just like gain no level. Like I just, live in this town and do priestly things and level very slowly, and yet somehow when you have adventures it makes it go up really fast. Anyway, was there anything particular that brought you back to town?
Yes. Yeah, no, I'm gonna level with you here, Father Ceviche. We have reason to believe that some suspicious factions within the Lithios government have ill intentions towards this town.
That's worrying to hear. He
Yeah.
sort of like,
Pretty worrying to say, too.
yeah, he kind of rests his hands on the desk, and kind of seems to be like thinking this over, and he goes, any particulars? Like, do you know who or why?
Well, Rosalia Starhouse.
Okay, we're just gonna come out and say it.
The High Priestess?
Yes. Yeah, oh, you've heard of her.
Like, of the entire church.
I mean, he is a priest.
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, you guys know each other?
I don't
I
know
mean-
if we should be naming all these names.
I named one name.
Well, you can't just assume that because somebody's a priest, they know other priests. I mean, like...
Yes, but there is distinctly like a little bit of a hierarchical system here. That's... What could she possibly want with Gillsbury?
Oh.
We're just a little fishing town, and I would expect...
Oh, we do have...
Can I do an insight check on Father Ceviche?
Yes.
Well, it is 14.
With a 14, I'll give you that he is, he's troubled by this. He is, surprised but not shocked. He is very concerned and very kind of like, it's a little bit like, you basically did the equivalent of, like, it's not quite this strong, but it's, like, similar to the vibes of telling someone the Pope is after you. Like, a little bit less strong than that, because she doesn't have quite that much power, but, like, she is the highest religious figure in Lithios, which Gillsbury is a part of. And so this is, like, that is a huge thing to say, and he's kind of trying to process that.
But his reaction does seem, like, genuine. He doesn't seem like he's in cahoots or whatever.
No, you don't, not with a 14, you don't pick up anything like that.
Okay.
He would never.
Never be too careful.
What, Finn, you seemed like you were about to say something.
Oh, yeah, we also have a center of power, apparently.
Explain what you mean?
Oh, I can't. I really
I
don't know
don't think
what
that's
means
relevant
beyond that.
to what we're talking about here, actually.
Kind of-
Oh, okay,
like
sorry. It's not relevant.
The navel
Finn
of the
just had a
world.
weird dream about the ocean.
You said something about planar convergence.
Did I?
Why-
Oh, yeah, I did.
Malachi's trying really hard to get us not to talk about this in front of Father Ceviche, and you guys are just...
Hey, we need somebody to give us something. We can't be cryptic forever.
Listen, this is my Obi-Wan. I trust him with my life.
Unfortunately, I did just roll a 3 for him. So he kind of like tries to think about, like, he looks baffled by all these things you guys are saying, and he's like, I think, all right, a center of power. I mean, there have been stories. You know, I've lived in this village my entire life, and kind of
Me too.
I know this. I'm explaining to your friends.
I high five him.
Yes, he high fives you. The knowing about things like this is sort of what I do. However, the center of power. There are stories that one of the reasons that kind of fishing in Gillsbury has historically been so good, and why this was a good place to build a town, is that there's, you know, the blessing of Melora on these waters and on this town is what's made the fishing kind of so prominent. Although, you know, when you actually study the way that the gods work and the way that their power affects us, sometimes there are other explanations as well. And so I've been aware that there's that her blessings on these waters manifest in a sort of that the reef out in the waters is part of what makes these waters so calm and so good for fishing in and so profitable for all of that. Although, you know, it's been less good the past few years, as I know you're aware, Finn.
Yeah.
Which there wasn't really an explanation for, but like the town has been afloat, so there wasn't, and there isn't really anything. Sometimes these things just kind of wax and wane over the years. It's not like it hasn't happened before.
Oh,
The
wow,
past-
that reminds me.
The past few years, you said?
Yeah.
Like what, like 5 years or so? Or fewer?
I think that would be about right. It's hard to know kind of when's just a slightly slow season and when's something concerning, but that seems like it would be an approximate estimation of time.
Hey, do you want some gold? And I just like hold up a handful of gold.
Okay.
Whoa! That is a whole
I mean,
handful of gold.
I know the roof's been leaking for a while, and you were trying to fix it. I figured.
Yes. What have you been doing?
Hey, I'm level 6, man. You know how it is.
I mean, I will take it for yes, of course. He kind of like holds out his hands, and in fact he goes and gets like a little like kind of like a donation box that people have been putting their kind of contributions to the church in, which has just kind of like a couple of gold and like silver and coppers in it, and you just like dump a bunch of gold in there and kind of fill it up basically. And he's like, "Thank you, Finn. I mean, this is absolutely, we will fix the roof."
I would like to roll
Nice.
an insight check pertaining to his reaction to the gold.
Okay, go ahead.
He's a poor churchman.
He's a man of the cloth.
Yeah,
Come
but
on.
they're supposed to be like, nay, materials.
They're not Catholic.
He needs a new roof.
Actually, Catholics are greedy. I take that back. Sorry, Catholics. The Catholic Church is greedy. I'll say it that way.
I rolled a 17 and a 5.
Yes,
So-
exhaustion.
So that's an 8.
An 8? I think with an 8 you can't really... With an 8, the only thing you pick up on is the same kind of like, whoa, that's a lot of money that everyone in Gillsbury kind of reaction has had. But like...
Well, actually, that's a good sign because it means the church hasn't been paying him off for anything. Presumably.
Fair enough. I have a question,
Yes?
Daddy Ceviche.
Oh.
Go on.
Finn here, right? So,
Hi.
you've known him his whole life.
I have.
He washed up as a baby,
Yes.
is what I've been told. Do you know anything about how it would work for an ancient eldritch force to be the parent of a baby?
I cover Finn's ears.
Like, I'm no stranger to having, magical parents. Like, I understand that. My mom doesn't have tentacles. So, I'm just wondering if you know anything about why he's the way he is.
Again, covering Finn's ears.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Father Ceviche kind of like takes in a breath and kind of like looks at Finn and kind of like starts to be like,
Don't worry, he can't hear you.
It's a bit of a mystery. And then once you cover Finn's ears, Father Ceviche looks at you, Regin, and he's like, there's no way. It doesn't make any sense. I mean, he's the lurker in the deep. Every story about the lurker in the deep speaks of him as like an eldritch monstrosity from another plane. Like, it doesn't... There's no way he's Finn's biological father. I don't really know where Finn got that idea.
Well, oh my god.
This is slander and libel.
Can I rifle through Finn's pockets? Do you have that book on you that you took from Solaris?
I do, but I stop you when you try to rifle through my pocket.
I briefly uncover Finn's ears. Finn, do you have that book on your father?
Yeah, sure, I'll hand it to you. You don't have to rifle through my pockets.
Okay, fine.
Also, could you fit that in your pockets anyways? Probably in his bag.
I have big pockets.
Cavernous pockets. And I flip through the book, and then I remember that I can't read, and I hand it to Father Ceviche, and I'm like,
Regin, you can read.
You've read before.
only sometimes. And now I'm not feeling it.
I rifle through Reagan's pocket for the page he ripped out of a book.
Oh, take it. Go ahead.
No, I'm not going to do that.
And I'm like, does this mean anything to you?
I do rifle through Reagan's pockets and take back my sister's journal.
Hey.
Remind me what was in this book?
So it's called, like, The Cult of something.
Oh, yes. Okay, let's see if this means anything to him.
While he's sort of looking through that.
Oh, right.
Well, we've encountered beings before that weren't necessarily born, but came into existence in this world through force of will.
Begotten, not made, consubstantial with the Father.
What?
Begotten, not made, consubstantial with the Father.
What's that from?
Catholicism.
Oh.
Yeah, he kind of like nods and he's like, it's possible that there was some sort of that the lurker in the deep, it depends on how powerful he is in terms of whether he could just kind of like wave his hand and create a person, if this is what we're talking about.
He's very powerful.
He's like, it's possible that Finn was created by the lurker in the deep in some means other than what we traditionally would think of. But it seems like a stretch to me. But it's possible.
More of a stretch than
less of a stretch than that, yes. However, he takes the book from you, and he kind of, like, looks through it quickly, Regin, and he gets a 23 on a religion check.
Holy shit.
He actually is gonna know shit, thank goodness. He looks through it and he's like, yes, I have run into mentions of this before. So, anytime that there's a being of great power, it tends to accumulate followers and people who want to worship it. Everyone is looking for some means of gaining power, of gaining abilities, of gaining money, of gaining the things that they want. And which isn't always a bad thing. Sometimes the thing you want is the ability to help people. I mean, my devotion to and my following of Melora has given me the ability to do things that help my people and to heal them when they get injured and to cure their diseases.
Not cast greater restoration, though.
All right, well, we're getting there. Give me some. Maybe if I was out doing adventures, I'd level up quickly enough to get greater restoration. So it's not always a bad thing to be seeking after power like this. However, when you do have one of these, someone powerful like this, they do tend to accumulate followers, and that looks like that's what this book is talking about. That there's a particular group of people who have been followers of the lurker in the deep, probably drawing their power from him. Based on some island far out east. To where there would be very dangerous waters, which does make sense. I would imagine that the lurker's power protects them from the more dangerous things out in those parts of the ocean.
Which sea is the one that's out far east, Hannah?
That's the Aberrant Sea,
okay. Which
is just kind of like weird magic going haywire all over the place. He sort of like frowns a little bit and he goes, it's a long way, and it would take quite a while, but are you suggesting that this could be somehow related to the question of how Finn ended up washing up on the shores of Gilsbury?
We're not sure. I take my hands off of Finn's ears once again. Finn, so you know who your father is, but you don't know your mother, right? Do you have a mother?
Right. I mean, I assume I must.
Wait, Finn, didn't in the forest?
Oh yeah, I saw someone who might be my mother.
Yeah, he said that he saw somebody who he said was his mom.
Definitely got mom vibes from her.
In the forest.
When we were in that forest full of dreams and stuff, hell, basically.
Did she look familiar to you? Malachi's like really interested in this now.
I mean, I've never seen her before, but I mean, like, she looked a little bit like me, and I don't know, just something about her.
Hannah,
Seemed mom
is
to
there
me.
a picture of what the devotees of the Lurker look like the robes that they wear? Is there
Yeah.
like a picture of that in the book?
I think not. I don't think the writer of this book would have gotten quite enough.
Not an illustrator.
Yeah.
Well, because what I saw in the forest ended up, I saw Nira, and then
Oh, I know her.
yeah,
Yeah, she's cool.
except for I didn't know that she would be around until after. This was before we met her,
A prophecy.
so I'm wondering if what you saw might be able to help us.
I mean, I'd know her if I saw her again, that's for sure.
If it's real. Yeah. What did she look like?
Does she have tentacles?
All right, Hannah, I don't remember what she looked like.
Yeah, no, she did resemble you. She was a half-elf. Yeah, she looked vaguely like you. She looked like she'd be about the right age to be your mom. Although she was younger than your, adoptive parents. And she looked, go ahead and make just, a retroactive insight check for me as you're kind of trying to remember.
9.
I'll give you advantage on this.
Still a 9.
Cool. Yeah, you're kind of, it was weird because everything was kind of, illusory and misty and stuff like that. But you remember that she kind of, smiled at you, sort of affectionately.
I wrote down that she looks like him and she smiled at him sadly and she had blue religious robes on.
Yeah.
She's very friendly.
Okay, that's helpful. Thanks, Finn.
Huh.
You're welcome.
To be quite honest, I have no idea where I was going with this line of inquiry. I just figured that something interesting might come out of it, but otherwise I guess we're gonna just have to go to your bar mitzvah and hopefully meet your mom there.
Yeah, so vis-a-vis the original thing we came in here about,
Oh.
we heard that a little while ago some priests came by the island to visit.
We got so
and they
caught
talked
up in
to
the
you.
Finn's ancestry of it all that we forgot.
Yes.
And they talked to you. They talked to Mr. Gar, too, apparently. And today, anything seems sketchy about them?
He's going to roll. Oh, good. Hell yeah. He sort of leans across the desk a little bit and he's like, yes, that was an odd interaction, to say the least. I mean, we're no stranger to, visits from the capital, and they usually want to come and check in. It was a little odd that a priest came at all, and I was excited because I was hoping that we were going to be able to get the capital to give us, aid for the town, which has been struggling a bit. Seems like the sort of thing that it would be nice for them to do. They were reluctant to do so. I spoke with, the mayor after. They didn't talk to me as much about that sort of thing, but the mayor and I are good friends, so we spoke afterward. And he said that they talked about how the money is needed for more important things or whatever, which is, a wild thing to say to the person who's in charge of the town. But, yes, you seem like you're familiar. But the priest coming to the chapel, I was hoping to kind of convince him and show him, look, the town is struggling, my roof is leaking, etc. And he wasn't really interested in hearing my concerns. He more wanted to ask questions about, yes, I guess he was asking questions about how long ago the fish dried up. He sort of used that as a segue as I was talking about the problems. And then he asked about, if I knew any more about the blessings of Melora on this town. Yes. And he was weirdly, combative. He seemed like he didn't trust me, which was odd because I gave him no reason not to.
I don't suppose that you remember what this priest was called?
Yes, he introduced himself to me as Father Tratalar. He seemed like he was... I mean, he outranked me, but he didn't seem like he was that high up in the structure of the church in Dermator, which you know is a bit more structured than most of us who are just doing our own thing out here. Like I said, weirdly standoffish, didn't really seem interested in hearing what I had to say. I'm surprised to hear he talked to Mr. Gar. I don't really know what they would have to discuss.
Well, Mr. Gar seems like he's sort of a fan of Dermator Lithios, is he not?
Yes, that's true. Yes, he's always been interested in, he likes the big city.
Yeah, we heard he travels to the city sometimes, so...
This is true.
Mal, is soldiers taking money from places standard operating procedure?
Why would you ask me?
Oh, sorry, Captain. Come on, don't be shy. Is that...
Well, it shouldn't be.
So
you ask me like I know.
So it is standard operating procedure.
But it shouldn't be.
Yeah, Malachi seems to disagree.
Interesting.
I agree that taxes are a thing that's needed for a government to take care of stuff, but I disagree with the way that Lithios takes care of things generally.
Malachi's a libertarian.
No! If I were a libertarian, I would not agree with taxes. What are you talking about?
I know.
I do think all three of you, and especially the two of you that are from Lithios, would know that, like I think, Finn, you would probably remember, that there was a time, when you were a kid, that there was, a big storm, and it, knocked out a few buildings, and, you got money from the capital to fix them. That would be more standard operating procedure. It's a little bit kind of it raises eyebrows to hear that they were refusing to send Gillsbury any sort of aid.
Was there something else you wanted to talk to me about? You told me to come see you 2 episodes ago.
Yes. He's sort of He kind of eyes Malachi and Regin a little suspiciously. Not quite suspiciously, but kind of and then he's just kind of could you two give us a moment, if you wouldn't mind?
Yeah, sure, go ahead. I don't move.
A moment alone, I mean.
Finn?
Yeah?
Do you want us to leave?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, no, it's cool.
Okay. I leave.
Bring us back in when you're done.
All right.
Cool.
Sorry, they get like that sometimes. Most of the time, actually.
You guys leave.
I think they've had some pretty bad life experiences.
Shut the door behind you. And Father Ceviche is like, no, it's good that your friends are defensive of you, it seems. Especially if the three of you have been out doing dangerous things that lead to you getting tons of gold. That makes sense that there would be a defensiveness there. Finn, I just wanted to kind of check in, make sure you're, doing all right. Make sure that you, your powers have increased since the last time we spoke.
Uh-huh.
Is that fine, or has there been any sort of adverse effects?
Nah, it's just awesome.
What about, strange dreams telling you to do something, or, any sort of talking about...
Can I listen at the door, by the way?
If either of you want to listen at the door, I need perception and also stealth checks.
I'm not gonna check, but can I help action him?
Sure. I will say that Regin conspicuously walks away from the door, which makes it sound like... So I will let you get a help action on your stealth.
I'm going to go sing a sea shanty 5 feet away.
I'll roll stealth first. Wait, so Regin giving me advantage just evens it out then, doesn't it?
Evens it out from the disadvantage from your plate.
Okay, so 13.
13, okay. And then give me perception. No, he doesn't, the door doesn't, open again or anything.
It's a 7.
7, okay. I'm gonna say you are overhearing some of this conversation, but not quite all of it.
Okay.
And he says to Finn, he's like, any sort of... The reason I ask is that sometimes, I'm just a priest in a small town. I don't know much
in a big world
about things like this. But I have been around for quite a while, and I've known other people who got carried away by the promise of power and of magical abilities. And I want to make sure you're being careful, Finn.
I guess, yeah. I mean, I've had a few weird dreams, but nothing that seemed like that bad. Just sort of weird.
Right. Do you?
I mean, I've still been sleepwalking. That hasn't gone away.
Do you know anything? I mean, I know we've had this conversation before, but about the goals of the lurker in the deep, or what he wants your help for.
No, I mean, long term, obviously, the sea will swallow the land and he will reign over all that is.
Sure. Again, we've been over this.
Short term, not really. Oh, Doi, except, do you know Kathoth? I met Kathoth the other night.
Do I
Kathoth?
know who? Who?
Are you familiar? Kathoth.
No. Who's Kathoth?
You don't know Kathoth? Oh, Kathoth, he's a guy. I met him. And he said my dad wants me to do something with the place of power. Again, sort of fuzzy on the details. It really sounds like he just wants me to, like, be around to watch him do something, maybe.
Oh, okay. That's not... Who is this Kathoth?
Oh, you know Kathoth.
No, I don't.
Tentacles on the face, lives underwater.
No, what?
Really not ringing any bells?
Absolutely not ringing any bells.
It's a little like Davy Jones.
Oh, well, I mean, I just told you pretty much everything I know about him.
So you were approached by a man with tentacles on his face who lives underwater, and he told you to go to the center of power and do something, but didn't give you any details about what?
Yes. And apparently he outranks me.
In terms of following the lurker in the deep?
Yeah. Although, honestly, I don't think it's really a super, like, rigid hierarchical structure, but...
Right.
You know...
I
mean, I gotta work extra hard because I'm the boss's kid. Gotta prove myself. You know how it is.
I would urge you to be careful with this. I think you are a very strong magic user, and you're very
Thanks.
smart, and you often you have a good heart. However, just sort of following whatever your father tells you, or whatever people who speak for your father tell you, could potentially get you into things that you don't want to be involved in. If there's something happening at the center of power, I'm not going to urge you to not be there, in part because, you know, it's only a few miles away from this town, and clearly there's something suspicious going on here. So I'm, you know, I don't want to tell you to go into danger, but I also trust you to take care of yourself. I would just urge you to keep an eye out.
All right.
And to make sure that you think about what you're doing. Like I said, I've seen people with good hearts and good minds get carried away by strange and fabulous powers, or by fear, or by creatures that can be very charming and deceptive, and I wouldn't want to see that happen to you.
I'm charming and deceptive.
You are, yes. But be careful that doesn't, that isn't a hereditary trait that you inherited from, you know.
Oh.
Yes.
All right. Yeah. Okay, I will. I'll keep that in mind.
Okay.
How do genes work in this world?
He sort of smiles and kind of, like, reaches across the desk and, like, pats your arm. And then he's like, you can, hey, you can come back in now. I can hear that you didn't go too far from the door.
Malachi waits a second so it doesn't seem, and he opens the door like, oh, us?
Yes, you had told me you wanted to come back in.
Oh,
when
yes,
we
you're
were...
all finished. I walk back in.
Yes.
Regin has completely zoned out wherever he's standing and misses this.
Regin!
Ah! What?
Come on.
Oh, okay.
You guys all go back into Father Ceviche's office, and he's like, well, that was all I wanted to say. I'd love to... feel free to spend the afternoon here, or however long you need. Or if this, you know, was a social call as well as an information gathering call.
Poor Father Ceviche. Lonely man.
Do you have any books about magic?
I've a few books about magic, yes. am the educator for the children in this town. So, just magic in general?
Anything about, like innate magic, like inborn magic.
Let me see.
Would this be a place where it'd be chill for us to take a long rest, do you think?
Yeah, he's like, yeah, if you need somewhere to nap, I have places for people who need a bed for the night. He kind of like looks at you for a second, Regin, and nods. And then he goes back to like a bookcase that's kind of next to his desk and kind of like sorts through it a bit. And he pulls out a book that is called Sources of Magic. And he sort of like opens it and he's like, there's a few different ways to get power, magical power specifically. Most often it comes from drawing it from a different entity, a person or creature who bears power and is able to therefore grant it to you.
I do eyes at Malachi like, relevant!
Oh, is this a conversation that involves me?
Trying to help you.
I wasn't listening.
Other people are able to channel the magic of the universe more basically through study and practices, through kind of learning the specific forms and formulas that are needed to channel the magic that exists all around us. And then others are simply born with a source of magic all of their own, that they are able to channel and work with.
Right,
for
yes,
themselves.
I'm familiar.
Right, so that, and he kind of like runs down the table of contents and points that out. You can see, Regin, that it's by far the shortest section in the book. That there are kind of like, that in terms of like drawing your magic from an entity, there's like a bunch of different like chapters explaining like, this is how divine magic works, this is how like, there's kind of like, this is like how to make a pact with a being and stuff like that. And then the section about kind of like wizardry and more kind of like academic magic is also longer, and then it's just kind of like, and has like all these like sub chapters and stuff like that. Both those sections do. And then the last section is just it's like short.
May I borrow this to peruse?
Sure.
Thank you. And as I go to put it in my pocket, or whatever, capacious pockets, I feel something else, and I go, ow! And I pull out Evandra's coin, and I hold it out, and I'm like, what's this?
Okay, I wondered where that was going.
He kind of like raises his eyebrows, and he's like, oh, that's the symbol of Evandra.
What's it do?
Yeah, we got it from her.
Yeah.
Hey, can you cast Identify?
Stop breaking the fourth wall, Andy. I'm trying here.
Spells have names in this world. That's entirely in universe.
He like raises his eyebrows, and he's a teacher. I'm gonna say it's fun and funky if he has Identify prepped. He like holds out his hand and he's like, well, give me 11 minutes and I can tell you.
Okay. I got 11 minutes.
He takes the coin and he kind of spends 11 minutes sort of like praying over it and kind of like looking over it.
And we spend 11 minutes watching him do this.
Yeah, I just sit there in absolute silence watching.
And after a while he looks up. Hold on, let me pull up the document that has what this item does.
I whispered to Nurgle, watch closely here.
I forgot I had this and I just felt it and I figured he might know.
He holds up after 11 minutes, he kind of like holds up the coin and he kind of looks at you with interest and he's like, where'd you get this?
Vandra.
We got it from Evandra.
Yeah, she gave it to us.
Oh, she handed it to you herself.
Yeah.
Right.
Yes.
Okay. He sort of like laughs a little bit and there's kind
Level
of
6, man.
there's an affectionate little like, the young gods just out here talking to their followers as opposed to making you do rituals and sort of follow them in the distance like that. And he sort of hands it back to you and he goes, this lets you, I mean, she's the goddess of luck. This lets you alter your luck a little bit. Mechanically, this coin gives you 1 luck point. Like the lucky feat, if anyone is familiar, gives you 3 of these. This gives you 1. And so whoever holds this coin has 1 luck point as described in the lucky feat. What that means is whenever you make an attack roll, ability check, or saving throw, you can spend the luck point to roll an additional d20. You can use this ability after the original roll. So if you roll and you're like, that was shitty, I'm going to use the coin point, and you can re-roll.
So is that once per
short rest.
Oh.
And it's whoever is holding the coin. This isn't going to require you to attune. However, I am going to need you guys to, like, establish for me who has the coin. Like, you can't be like, I'm going to toss Malachi the coin, like, after he's made the roll. It has to be, like... But if you wanted to, if Malachi's about to make a really important roll and you want to be like, oh, I'm going to hand him the coin.
Cool.
You can do that.
So could we, if we do pass it around, like, outside of battle, could we use it 3 times per day, once each? Or
I want to say that it's just one, like that the coin can only do it once, but if that becomes too hard to keep track of, we might alter it. Yeah, that's what I'll say for now.
Very cool. I keep it.
Nice.
It's in my little dragon hoard.
Okay, so you said it's all right for us to rest here a while, right?
Oh, yes, feel free. Yeah, you can stay as long as you need.
Regin?
What?
Do you think you'd be able to sleep before we go to
The porta potty.
Finn's thing tonight?
You go ahead. I'm gonna read
That's not what I'm asking.
this book.
I'm asking if you plan on sleeping before we go.
Not particularly. It's daytime.
Because I think you should.
Regin, you're exhausted.
I'm fine.
I lean over. I whisper to Father Ceviche, "Hey, can you cast sleep?"
Unfortunately, I don't have that prepped today. But he does kind of lean across the desk and he's like, you do look like you could use a nap.
I always look like this.
You could read for a little bit and then take a nap, Regin.
Why do you want me to go to sleep?
Because if we're going down into the ocean, I need all of us to be fully aware.
I don't want to go to sleep.
I put my hand on Regin's shoulder and I'm like, "Hey, buddy, what's wrong? Bad dreams?"
Where is this coming from? No, just let me be.
Hold on.
Come on, champ.
I take the book and I storm out.
Cool. Will you make me...
Nurgle, go follow him and sing some soothing, restful melodies.
Nurgle, do not. Your melodies are lovely, but they're not restful.
In the process of storming out, will you make me a deception check?
Sure. What am I deceiving?
You're you're being cagey. Father Ceviche rolled an insight check. I want to see if you beat him.
It's an 8.
Cool. You storm out. No one stops you but Nurgle does kind of follow you and is like, just like, he doesn't land on you. He's just like walking along behind you.
On the ground.
Yep.
Flap, 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 flap.
I love it.
Sick.
Can Nurgle read?
Great question.
Finn, did you have a weird dream before you went into the ocean?
Oh, yeah.
While you were sleepwalking?
Uh-huh.
Does that happen a lot?
Does it, Hannah? Is my sleepwalking usually accompanied by weird dreams?
Yeah, I would say yes. And they kind of...
Yeah, par for the course.
Yeah, they vary in terms of weirdness. Sometimes it's just like, oh, I'm swimming under the ocean, and then you wake up and you're standing on the beach staring out at the ocean.
I assume he relays this.
Yeah.
Did you sleepwalk before you got your powers?
Yeah, not as much, but sometimes.
You said you got your powers in the ocean, right?
Uh-huh. Very thematic.
Was it a similar situation to what happened last night?
No.
Okay.
Basically, I fell... I mean, if you want to hear the story, I'll tell it. I was out fishing, and I fell in the water, and I got tangled up in my net, and, like, I was super wet, and, like, I just couldn't... For some reason, I couldn't swim like I usually can. Then I just sort of blacked out. When I woke up, I was on the beach, and I had powers.
Huh. That's good, actually, I guess. Malachi does look a little relieved at this.
Yeah.
Okay. Finn, why don't you, I mean, I know you slept last night, but it would probably still be good for you to take a breather before we go down to your dad's thing.
Sure. I haven't expended any spell slots, though. Oh. Mechanically, I'm fine.
Then fine, go for a run or something. I don't know.
Hey, Father C, you want to play backgammon?
No. My point is I want you to leave for a minute, please, Finn.
Yeah, I'd love to play backgammon, but I'll talk to your friend first, and then we can play backgammon.
Oh.
Distant Regin.
I'm sorry, Finn. I was trying to do it without telling you to go, but if you could go for a minute.
Yeah, it's funny. Usually I'm great at picking up on subtext. All right, see you later. And I wander off.
Cool.
Actually, I go to Min and Baylene's house to play backgammon with Min.
Nice. Cool. Yeah, Finn doesn't need to rest, and in fact can't long rest because you long rested within 24 hours. So you can go hang out with Min and Baylene.
You can just go cast spells for fun and then take a short rest.
Father Ceviche sort of like as Finn leaves and kind of closes the door behind him, he's like, did you have a question or something of concern? You look like you've got something on your mind.
I do. So I know Finn just relieved some of those concerns. But the fact remains that we've had some weird encounters with dreams in the past. And the forest we were talking about before, where Finn said he saw a woman he thinks might be his mother, was a forest that was under the control of a figure known as, well, the daughter, I guess, of a figure known as the Dreamer. Do you know her?
Let's see if he knows her.
Close personal friend.
Hi, yeah, we met back in Cabo.
And I'm actually giving him disadvantage on this roll.
Oh, she's my mother too, actually.
Oh, damn. Okay. My self-imposed disadvantage canceled out a crit, but that does mean that he still got a 17. So, he kind of thinks for a moment, and he's like, I've heard the name. This is another of those entities that exist and exert power around this world. In fact, after Finn's sleepwalking episodes became more prevalent, I did some research into dreams and the effect that they have on people with powers, and I ran into her a few times in my research.
Because, she sent those visions and other strange dreams to us recently, and last night there was another one, and I guess sounds like you don't know much more than we do, but is it possible for a being like that to control someone directly without some sort of pact made?
That's a difficult question to answer for sure. I would say, unfortunately, probably yes. However, it would take a lot more than a dream.
What do you mean?
So the reason that dreams can be dangerous, the reason that they reoccur in moments like this, is that when one is asleep, one's in this sort of place, the place between waking and sleeping where dreams happen is sort of akin to, space between worlds, or space between planes, or space between, if you want to get more metaphorical with it, space between the past and the future, between the sea and the sky, or however you want to call it. And as such, there's a possibility for powers to exert influence there, in a way that might be more difficult for them to do on our material plane, because they are, extraplanar beings tend to be weaker here than they are on their own places, but in dreams they can exert a little more influence. However, because of that same in-between space can also work in your favor, in that it would be difficult for an entity to just it would take a longer time, is what I'm saying. It wouldn't be as
longer
simple.
than just one night.
Longer than just one night.
Would a couple of years be sufficient?
Possibly, although again it would depend. It depends on the strength of the being, and it depends on what they were doing.
And what about the will of the being affected?
That would also matter. Yes. Some people are harder to influence than others.
Good to know. I don't suppose you know where I might find more information on entities like this? As a man of the cloth, but also a scholar of sorts.
Right. There are two ways to approach that. The path that I have tended to take is going to, libraries, universities, talking to people who know more than I do. The rather academic
Rats!
However, you are an adventurer, you're a strong man, you have a big axe. The more
sure
kind
do.
of...
That's what's on his business card.
Many adventurers who seek out answers tend to seek out answers by just going to the place where the sources of power are and just looking for answers more directly. I think you could take either approach. So, for instance, if you want to know about beings who are from the Aberrant Sea, you go to the Aberrant Sea. That's the way to do it.
Noted.
Or you can go to, the university, a library, something
Right.
like that.
I don't...
If you're a fucking nerd.
I've never been to university before, so... Also, you said you were a priest of Melora. Is
Yes.
that right? Would you be able to recognize her magic when you see it or when you feel it?
I do tend to know when powers feel familiar, but many of the old gods have existed for so long that sometimes there's overlap in their powers. I mean, the sea and the storm both make use of water and wind, and, the moon reflects the sun. Go on.
I recently developed the ability to channel magic for myself, but I'm not certain of the source. And Avandra said she knew, but she wouldn't tell me. So I was wondering if you'd be willing to take a look.
All right. Yes. Go ahead. Please don't do anything that will, damage anything in my office.
The roof is already fragile.
Yes.
Well, I could cast a spell, but I was wondering if you'd be able to tell just by looking at my holy symbol.
Hey, just cast a cantrip, Taylor.
Yeah, Hey, Finn, can you come in here for a second?
Hey, what's up?
Oh, I just wanted to see if you could cast a cantrip for me.
Oh, yeah, sure. What do you want?
I don't know what your cantrips are. Oh, you wanna... No, that's dangerous. Never mind, Finn. Your services aren't needed.
Goodbye!
I want to take out my rock and present that to Father Ceviche.
Cool. I'm going to make 2 rolls. I'm going to make a religion roll for him and an insight roll for him.
Okay.
Okay, that's a 12 on the religion. Oh, boy.
Aww.
That does come to a 14 on the insight. So he takes the rock and he kind of holds it in his hands and he sort of inspects that sort of like half-formed symbol that's on it that kind of like appeared at one point but
Like the little ridges
doesn't look
stuff?
familiar. Yeah, the ridges on it. And he sort of like rubs at it with his thumb a little bit and kind of looks at it and he's like, this almost looks like it could be the symbol of a deity, but it isn't clear. There's something missing about it. There's something wrong about it.
Wrong?
Not wrong in like a suspicious way, just wrong in like a...
Just missing.
Just missing. As if someone's kind of, he like pauses for a second and he's like, as if it's been obscured? Like as if there's something... Was this on the rock? Where did you get this?
The rock or the symbol? The
The
symbol
rock.
just showed up.
The symbol showed up, but you had the rock beforehand. Where did you get the rock?
Well, I didn't. It sort of... It came to me, I guess.
The more details you give me, the more I can help.
Yeah. I really don't know where it came from, but I was on an island for a while in the Northern Sea, and there was an incident, and Malachi looks just so uncomfortable.
Hey, don't worry, we're not here.
I was there for a while, and a few months ago, there was an incident where I almost,
Died? You're doing a motion across your throat.
Yeah. Well, mate, I mean, obviously I didn't, so it wasn't a big... I could have died, but I didn't. And whatever prevented my death I assume is what left this rock for me, because I found it when I woke up. I don't know where it came from.
He puts a hand on the rock and then sort of like hands it back to you across the desk. And he's like, I think you may be asking yourself the wrong questions. Because your question seems to be in terms of you were saved from this near-death experience by something mysterious, and then you had powers, which is oddly similar to exactly what happened to Finn. From the sounds of it, I'm
very similar. He said,
Malachi, we're brothers!
Finn said he almost drowned, right?
Yes.
So it was pretty similar, I would say.
Sure was. Hannah, the DM, is very glad that this is finally coming out. Father Ceviche sort of like, so something wanted something for you, which is why it kept you from death, and there's a purpose to it. Things don't just happen for no reason. There must be some sort of, whether it's a task they want you to do or some sort of potential they saw in you. It isn't just for no reason, and I think that the question you need to be asking yourself is less who was this and more why. That would be my advice. That's what I've been trying to get young Finn to think along those lines as well, but...
Well, I haven't had much guidance in that regard. Lately, whoever it was hasn't seemed to be speaking to me much at all.
The gods can be like that at times.
I don't think I'm going to say this to this man yet.
He sees that you kind of have more to say, but that you're not quite ready to say it, and he kind of goes, I would, It is wise to... It is one thing when you seek out power for yourself, and it is another thing when you find power given to you and you don't entirely know why. I sought out power for myself. I was a young man, and I wanted to help my people. I wanted to help my village. So I devoted myself to Melora, and I asked her to give me the power to protect my people and to heal them, and she answered, and that has been my life's calling ever since. You... It sounds like did not ask, but were simply given it, unless you did?
Well, I didn't ask. No.
So, it is wise of you, I think, to be a little bit suspicious in trying to figure out why these things happened, but I would say, in the meantime, attempt to use what you've been given to do good in the world. It sounds cheesy, but that's what I've done.
You're right. Thank you, Father. So it's not Melora then.
No, I think her symbol I would have recognized, and this...
I did assume as much. All right, you've been helpful. Thank you.
I'm glad I could help.
And it's good to know that Finn's sleepwalking isn't suspicious. Hopefully.
Well, it is suspicious, but it's suspicious in a way that Finn's entire existence is suspicious. So... Yeah. Not a new kind of suspicious.
Okay, that does track.
Please do keep an eye on him. The lurker in the deep is, like I said, use the power that you're given to do good in the world where you can. And I do believe that Finn can channel this power, and I'm not quite as... I know some people in the village are very adamantly opposed to even having him...
Oh, yes, we met Guppy outside.
Guppy. That child. But,
outside the window, you see Finn chasing Guppy across the town square. And then, like, a minute later, back the other direction, Guppy is chasing Finn.
Of course. Yeah.
But so it is possible to channel this power. However, I worry that the lurker in the deep has more sinister machinations in mind than Finn is perhaps prepared to handle. So do keep an eye on him for me if you could.
I'd be inclined to agree. Well, I think we're going to rest here for a while before we see what it is the lurker wants from him.
All right.
But
like I said, please feel free to stay as long as you need. I'll get some tea. He sort of like starts to put a tea kettle
What
on.
a sweet old man.
As you're sort of you go outside to rest. Regin, you're reading, yes?
Yes, I would like to be specifically looking in the magic section about any information on breaking the source of magic or getting rid of magic.
Make me an investigation check.
It's a 14.
Okay. There is a footnote that is about, like, basically it comes in the wake of a paragraph that's like, this magic is innate to them, it is something that they always have, there are ways to make it stronger, but there are not really any ways to, like, get rid of it. And then there's a footnote that's like, certain researchers have been exploring the possibility of suppressing magic or transferring magic. And yeah, because it's fun and fresh, I'm gonna say that this footnote says, like, it's a reference to, it's like, see the works of Dr. Corvin Retfall for more information on this. It's basically referencing a paper or book he seems to have published at some point.
I slammed the book shut.
As you slam the book shut and you're kind of sitting there processing this, you feel a hand on your shoulder, and a you jump a little bit, but Father Ceviche is like, oh, it's just me. He hands you a mug of tea, and he says, is everything all right? You look troubled.
Yeah. Well, to be honest, nothing has been all right since I was like 3 years old, so this isn't like particularly new.
Is this in like a secluded corner, or are you guys just chatting in the chapel where we're all sitting?
I was outside.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I'm out on the front stoop or something.
Finn and Guppy are chasing each other around in the distance.
As the Yakety Sax plays.
Yep.
No, I've just... it's funny that I ended up with these two who were given powers that they like to use and are proud of, and I have been like this my entire life, and I fucking hate it. So.
Well, I don't have much.
Did you just swear in the house of the Lord?
I'm on the front stoop of the house of the Lord.
Swearing on the front stoop, perfectly acceptable. He kind of like sits next to you and he's like, I have far more experience and wisdom when it comes to magic that is received or channeled rather than what you're born with. Actually, all I wanted to say to you was that if you're looking for somewhere to sleep, your friend was telling me a little bit about some potentially unsettling dreams that all three of you have been experiencing, and this place is a holy place. He kind of gestures behind him. He's like, this is a holy place, and as such tends to be more protected from those sort of, if there's anything from the outside that's attempting to influence your sleep, you won't find that in a place like this. And hopefully any, dreams that are just normal bad nightmares, it perhaps can't be as prevented by magic, but sometimes just having a place where you feel more safe is helpful in terms of that.
He kind of like laughs bitterly and is like, yeah, it's not from the outside, it's just me. Always has been.
Jesus.
But thank you though for the offer.
I like that our podcast is unique in that it has a player who actively tries to harm themselves.
He gives you kind of a sad look, in that way that people do when they don't really know what to say. And he sort of hands you the tea and he's like, I would urge you to, I have the same advice for you I have for your friends. Just be careful although with you, I would say be less careful with, the magic that you're messing around with, because you don't seem to be interested in that at all, but more be careful with how far you're pushing your own limits. I think perhaps you're going to find that that's going to have the opposite effect that you're hoping it'll have. But What do I know? I'm just a priest. And he kind of like pats you on the shoulder, and goes back inside the church. Cool.
This tea is delicious.
I love Father Ceviche.
It tastes like fish.
Malachi appears on the stoop. Finn, Regin and I are taking a nap. Be good out there.
You see Finn limps over, like rubbing his head and panting, and is like, I think I need a short rest too. Just blew through all my spell slots. Oh, it was rough. I hate that kid.
Finn's shedding mage armor.
I clap a hand on Regin's shoulders. I'm like, why don't we go inside for a bit?
Guppy.
Cool. You guys all
of his spells.
Finn, short rest.
At least he's soaked.
I'm really picturing, like, red hair and freckles and, like, a little snub nose on this kid.
Okay, cool. So you guys...
We see Guppy lying in a ditch 20 feet over.
The epilogue is just Guppy's funeral.
No, Guppy looks like he's fine. You guys see him, like, off, kind of like...
He's not dead, he's just lounging in the ditch.
Yeah. He's doing that cool kid thing where he's, like, sitting on a roof and he, like...
Except for he's soaking wet, so...
Yeah, he is soaking wet, it's true.
Wicked Finn's back.
Dark Finn. Cool, so you guys, rest, or opt not to rest.
Regin, do you at least come inside with us?
If you coax me, I'll come inside with you.
I put my hand on your shoulder. I don't know how much more you want out of me.
Pick me up bridal style.
I hold up a little scrap of food and I'm like, come on.
Finn, you come take his feet.
All right.
No, my tea!
I balance your tea on my head. I have excellent balance.
I grab the tea with my mage hand.
Oh, yeah, there we go.
Okay. So I go inside.
Cool, you guys go inside.
I cradle you gently like a little babe.
Yay.
Malachi naps, Finn gets a short rest in, Regin gets some reading in. Time passes, and you guys kind of spend the afternoon here. It comes to be evening. So you still have a few hours before you need to go to the portal, but we can just kind of, I'm not going to make you go through all the work of, basically, the smart way to get out to the portal here is probably going to be, like, borrowing a fishing boat from someone as opposed to trying to take your big ship, just because of kind of, like, the distances being covered here.
I mean, I know of a fishing boat that nobody's using.
Yeah, so,
And I'm proficient in water vehicles.
Good. So I'm not going to make you guys, like, RP through all of that. I can just say that you get a hold of the boat.
I have my old fishing boat is, like, in, like, a ditch somewhere covered with a tarp, and we dig it out.
And there's a montage where we restore it. Fast and Furious podcast, if you will. Ludacris is there.
We're not just restoring it, we're decking it out.
Got a little flame decal on the side.
Gotta get the Nas on there.
We name it Matte Black 2.
I assume that at some point during this afternoon, Finn, are you going to tell your parents, like, we're not coming home tonight?
Yeah, well, I mean, we might be coming home tonight, but it might be pretty late.
Okay.
I'm not really sure what I've got, but I've got an appointment out under the ocean by the reef.
Oh, they are mildly concerned about this, but they're kind of like, okay.
You guys know Cathoth? You know Cathoth?
No, should we?
Yeah, no one knows Cathoth.
No.
Well, yeah, we're doing some, I don't know, it's lurker stuff, you know.
Okay, sweetie, have fun.
Thanks.
Cool, so they know not to be alarmed. And you guys get all your stuff. You get in Finn's old fishing boat, you restore it, and you start to head off in the direction of the reef. I will say that you guys can just go ahead and, Finn, make me a survival check with advantage.
Thank goodness for the advantage. 20. Total.
20. Great. You find your way to kind of, like, directly to where you know is like right above the reef. It's a couple hours until midnight. You would probably, I would say, so you guys know that Finn and Malachi both have ways to breathe underwater. Regin doesn't. You guys have those water breathing potions, but you only have 2 of them and they last for an hour each. So there's a little bit of kind of like timing that's happening here, where if you want to be able to get in, get out, you're going to have to think about at what point you want to go underwater.
How about I stay with the getaway car, and you guys go in, do the thing.
Yeah. All right. Yeah. Cool. Nani, just don't call in for next episode.
Yeah,
it's fine.
I have a conflict.
Damn. It's too bad there's no spell that you could have learned at this point that would allow you to breathe underwater, huh?
I don't know.
Is there?
Yeah, there is.
Oh.
Cool.
Can I ask Finn, just like sort of before we go, so like while I'm stalking, basically whether his dad whether Kathoth indicated any sort of danger?
Yeah, he said we might have to do some fighting to get our way in there.
Did he say what sort of fighting? Like what sort of creatures?
Not really. Just sort of unsavory denizens of the deep.
Okay.
Probably wet ones.
Hannah, do I have any guess as to what sort of creatures might be in some sort of power portal?
Or a coral reef.
Or a coral reef?
It's just sharks.
Yeah, we
Make
just
me a
punch a
nature
bunch of hammerheads. A nature check, you said?
A nature check, yes.
If it's just sharks, I can talk us out of it.
13.
13. I think, so you would know that, like, there is the possible danger of just, like, yeah, exactly, sharks and other predators that live around reefs to prey on the fish. There also, then, if we're talking, like, source of power-wise, there could really be any type of weird creatures if you're expecting them to come from there. But it's not like Gillsbury has had reports of lots of weird creatures around really ever, so you don't know if that's like an assumption you can make.
That's fair.
And then Kathoth had kind of mentioned, like, at some point he said something like, people who don't, like, follow your father, who don't like followers of your father. So that, you're not entirely sure what that could imply, but it could mean that there's, like, other underwater beings that are just like more powerful and more anti-lurker in the deep.
Okay.
Question. With my vast knowledge of undersea creatures, can I just sort of think to myself, is there any animal that exists in this magical fantasy world that can, like, attach to a person's face and allow them to breathe underwater?
I will say
Perhaps.
that yes, that's a thing that exists, but that they don't live around Gillsbury.
Hey, Nurgle, can I, you want to slip into something more comfortable?
Okay, this is an interesting idea. Let me look at the wording of Find Familiar. This would make my life easier.
Wearing Nurgle as a mask.
If you think I'm wearing a squid on my face, you are sorely mistaken.
Regin forced to go underwater while wearing a Nurgle face mask.
If you think I'm gonna eat Nurgle's ass.
Yeah, so what I'm gonna say about the animal is, Finn, go ahead and give me a, you're gonna give me a charisma check, because this is not how it's supposed to work. There's a specific amount of forms. It's not just any animal, there's specific ones. However, your patron is the lurker in the deep, and this seems like a legit thing to me, and would be kind of cool and funny. So, I'm gonna let you make a charisma check. I'm gonna tell you the DC is, it's gonna be DC 20 to do it just here. Just like cold with no kind of pre-preparation. This is just an idea you've had. So go ahead and roll.
13.
13, okay. So you have this idea, you ask Nurgle about it, and Nurgle kind of looks at you with his eyes squinted, and he's like, ah!
Nurgle doesn't want Regin to eat his ass either.
Thank God.
You know, that's fair.
But that might be something, I would say that if you wanted to kind of like, we could work that out for there to be a way for you to do something like that, but that you're not able to do it right now.
Okay.
Time to hit the books.
But you guys do have those two, you have those 2 water breathing potions, which I think also, do those also give you a, yeah, they don't give you a swim speed.
So Regin would have disadvantage then?
I'm gonna be swimming circles around you guys.
He'll have disadvantage on attacks with his hammer. If he wants to use his brass knuckles or something like that, he'd be fine.
Wait, so my swim speed is normal because of my armor, and Finn's is because of the way he is. Would Regin's be half his walking speed?
Where's your squat nimbleness now?
Yeah, so you, I will say that in order that, typically Regin would be slowed by having this by swimming. I will let you make an athletics check to kind of like go, and I will let you guys kind of help him because it makes sense to me that if you have people who are having magically enhanced swimming right kind of near you, that would help you to swim better. So I would let you make a flat athletics roll to kind of keep up with them.
We can each hold one arm and pull him along with us.
Yeah, we drag Regin and we flutter kick.
If your swim speed becomes relevant, which if you guys are just kind of casually swimming, this is more for like if we end up in combat and all of a sudden it's relevant how fast you can move. I will let you make an athletics check to go at 30 feet. Hella. Okay, so you guys make your preparations. You do your planning. I'm going to say it is 11 p.m.
All right. Drink up, Reg.
I'm gonna stay with the getaway car.
All right.
Regin,
Bye, I guess.
No, I am not really comfortable with any of us being alone out here on the ocean with whatever's going on. So I would really prefer if you would come with us.
Can I also say that I did do a ritual to transform Nurgle into a crab so he can come underwater with us?
Oh, for sure. Yeah.
Crab goal.
So you, Finn, you do your ritual, you turn Nurgle into a crab. He, no longer makes Nurgle screeches. I guess he just kind of like clatters his little claws together.
Can I pet little crab Nurgle?
Yes.
Yes.
Does he pinch me? Or does he be nice?
He like pinches you in like a very kind of like the way that cats do that little like like nip your finger and stuff like that.
I go, oh, it tickles. He can't hurt me. His claws can't pierce my flesh. All right, yeah, so we're up there.
Regin, come on. I told Kathoth I was going to bring 2 friends, and if I only bring one, it's going to be really embarrassing.
I just don't think it's the world's best idea to put me into a place where there's powerful magical forces converging. That just...
Regin, that's all we've done for the past month.
Yeah, and has it gone well?
It's going okay so far.
No, it hasn't.
We're level 6.
You might be. I'm not.
I know that you have trouble with your own magic, but I don't think that this particular, based on what we heard from Finn and from Father Ceviche, this particular source of magic would not necessarily affect you any differently than it would affect the magic in me or Finn. If anything, I would think Finn might be the one most affected by this, since it is connected to his father in terms of where that power comes from and what it affects.
Also, you guys should meet Kathoth. I think you'd like him. He's also very serious.
Well, if he's anything like Davy Jones, I think I'm diametrically opposed to him. But I've got my jar of dirt, so we should be good.
When have we ever been serious, Finn?
Listen, I don't want to go down there either.
Then why do we have to? Can't we just dip?
'Cause Finn's going.
That's me.
Yeah, I know.
I don't think you're going to be able to convince him otherwise.
Sure, I just can't wait up here.
I hold up Crab Nurgle, who's making like a sad crab puppy dog face.
No, stop. Don't give me the crab eyes. Don't give me the crab eyes.
Come on, he
Finn,
wants to come.
You hold up Crab Nurgle, and he looks into your eyes, Regin, and he kind of like snaps his little claws.
Hypnosis?
And then he like looks up. He kind of like looks up and he like holds up his little claws and they start clacking more furiously. And you guys all glance up into the air and you see a form, like a V formation of 5 creatures that are flying towards you.
Oh, shit.
No, these are not humanoid figures. These are big, like, bird-looking things. As they draw closer, I want all of you to give me a perception check.
We're tabling this, Regin.
19.
I got a 5, but when I'm assuming they see it and won't say something, I'd like to put on my night vision goggles, which I haven't yet done. So that's how I'm flavoring this, okay?
Cool.
I have a 13.
13, cool. So all of you spot these creatures flying towards you. Finn, you get a clearer look. You see that these are big, winged damn, it's hard to describe this thing. It's like they look like birds of prey, like just like really big, like hawks or falcons, but they have like a head that almost looks like deer-like, and these
Wow, that one looks like Margot Robbie.
big, birds of prey, good
Birds
one.
of prey.
These like big antlers, and these like
that one looks like a periton.
there we go. Regin recognizes them. These like sharp chomping teeth.
Did you just know that name off the top of your head?
Cool. So, and Finn, with your 19, you see that each of these monsters has 2 humanoid figures riding on their back. So a total of 10 of these humanoid figures. It's dark enough, and they're still kind of coming, and they're coming at you quick, so you can't get too much of a good look at them, but they look like you can tell that they're green, distinctly not human. Almost look like, maybe like goblinoid, but bigger than goblins. And they are very clearly making a beeline directly for you. I'm going to say you guys have 1 round's worth of actions before we're going to roll initiative.
Do you think they're friendly?
I put on my goggles. What the hell? Finn, I thought you said this was all underwater.
Oh.
Okay, so we have 1 round of actions that we can take, you said, Hannah?
Yeah, it basically just like if you guys have anything you want to do real quick.
There are
before we
15
roll
creatures
initiative.
coming towards us.
Correct.
Yes.
I shout up, "Are you friendly?"
How far are they right now?
Right now they are 120 feet out. You're just yelling at them in common, Finn?
Yeah.
You see one of the, like, little green guys, the one who's on, like, at the front of the one that's in front of this V formation, raises a little spear and just kind of yells, like, "We are here for the source of power at the portal!"
Oh, you're here for the portal party!
What a coincidence!
Wait, are
We're
you
gonna
like...
get there first!
Oh, not friendly.
We can all go there together. Right, Finn? Is this like an exclusive event?
Apparently not.
Hannah, do we get the sense that they're about to attack us, or they're just going to the portal party?
It looks like they're about to attack you.
Okay.
They're like, we're going to claim the power for ourselves, what's being conveyed here.
Hey, Regin, you still want to stay up here?
Are they very high up or just far away?
They're 120 feet away. It's like, it's an angle. They're coming in at an angle.
Gotcha.
They're diving down toward you guys.
They're doing a helicopter landing, and they're just gonna smash down directly on top of us.
I think my first move is I'm gonna cast Moonbeam,
Okay.
and I'm gonna cast it right around us, so that if they enter into our range, they're automatically gonna have to roll for the radiant damage.
Okay.
So Malachi hears those 2 exclaim something, snap my goggles down from on top of my head where I forgot they were sitting.
Malachi looks so funny right now in a full plate mail, and then I'm picturing, like, you know the goggles that your dentist wears that have, like, the little magnifying lenses?
I want them to look like cat eye sunglasses. Can that be the thing?
Is that cool?
Sure.
Malachi thinks it's cool. They remind him of Nira. Feel like she would rock some cat eye sunglasses. Okay, so I see them coming, and I do have my rock with me now, so I do have the materials.
Okay.
So a silvery beam of pale light shines in a 5-foot radius, 40 feet high, centered on the point within range. That point is going to be us here in the boat.
Okay.
Boy, that's gonna mess you up with the night vision goggles on. Hey, is this gonna damage us?
No.
Yes.
Does it?
When a creature enters the spell's area for the first time on a turn or starts its turn there.
Oh, I didn't think... Or, I could cast it right in front of us.
Yep. If you just right on top of them, it's going to catch, I'm going to say you can catch the first 3 of the flying creatures, this V, in your moonbeam.
Okay, so I'm going to cast it on the first 3. So those 3 and the 6 people on top of them have to roll a con save.
Okay. So first, this is for the mounts. Ooh, they fail.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a 4. This is for the guys on the first. What's your spell save DC? Does a 15 pass?
So if my save is a 15, do they pass or fail?
Then they pass.
Okay, damn.
Cool, so these guys just barely pass.
So all 3 mounts fail and all 6 riders pass. Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Are any of them shape changers?
Um...
Just wondering.
just for curiosity, no, they are not.
Okay. Because if they were, they would have disadvantage. But
Fun.
oh, I rolled 19.
Did you really? Wow. Okay.
My first good roll of the session.
Cool.
Very nice.
So the mounts all take 19 and the riders take, 9? Because if it's half, you round down.
Correct.
Okay, so that's what Malachi does. And also that means we can see them.
Yeah, so Malachi throws up that spell. What do you guys want to do with your first kind of actions here?
I cast Mage Armor on myself.
Hella. Regin, what do you do?
I'm gonna rage.
Cool.
Do I get a bonus action?
Guys, this
Yeah.
looks sick as fuck.
All right. I shout up at them, you know, this is lurker territory! And I spawn my tentacle up in the air next to them, and it smacks the one at the front.
Cool. Go ahead and make an attack roll. Are you attacking the mount or are you attacking the guy?
The guy.
Cool.
That's a 9 to hit.
9 does not hit.
All right, but it waves threateningly.
Sick. They're gonna fly closer in this round that doesn't really exist. I should have just had you guys roll initiative. It was silly of me not to, but
I assume the ones who didn't initially get hit with the moonbeam fly around it, or they...
they'll fly around it. So they're all flying closer to you. We're gonna go ahead and roll initiative, but they're gonna be closer to you when we pick up, because it was stupid of me to not just have us roll initiative. And Finn, don't forget to roll separately for Nurgle, if you want to.
Nurgle as the crab!
I got a 12, Nurgle got a 17.
King.
Oh, good for Nurgle.
I also have a 12, so Andy and I are going to have to roll off.
It's a 10 for me.
8.
I got an 18, so I'm going ahead of Andy.
Sick. First up in initiative is actually Nurgle.
King.
What do you want him to do, Andy?
Nurgle, well, he doesn't have wings anymore, so there's not a lot he can do.
Throw him!
He can give the help action to one of you.
Okay, yeah, I'll have him help me with what I do.
Cool. Next up is one of the groups of people who are riding. These are the ones who are in the back, who have not been hit yet by the moonbeam. Their mounts kind of go around the moonbeam. The mounts look strong. These are pretty strong monsters. You hit them with your moonbeam for a lot of damage, and they're still going. They distinctly were damaged by the moonbeam, but, like, these guys look more dangerous than their riders, who are just these little green guys who have, like, tridents and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And they are... So they're not dangerous, but they are less dangerous. And I have them grouped so that the two guys who are riding on the one in front look stronger than the others, and like they're in charge. They're their own group. These are the sergeants. And then the other guys are around. They're in two different groups. So this is the first group of 4 of them. Does that make sense?
Okay.
So those two Paratons kind of come out to the side. They go around the moonbeam. And all 4 of these guys are going to kind of lean out and throw tridents at you guys.
Okay.
You see that they've each got like a couple of these. And they are... So this happens as they kind of come within like 20 feet of you guys. All 4 of them are going to throw tridents. I think 3 of them are going to aim at Malachi for doing that thing that was scary. And the last one is going to aim at Finn for making a tentacle appear. So first, these are the ones that are at Malachi.
Okay.
Oh, good God. Guys, my terrible rolls are back. I could roll well for Father Ceviche and no one else.
Yes, we love
the highest. The highest of these is a 13, which doesn't hit, and the other 2 are even lower. So, but against Finn, there we go. That is a
Of course,
dirty
it's
20
better
to
on
hit.
Finn.
You take just 2 piercing damage as this trident
Ow.
kind of like glances past your shoulder.
Definitely not friendly.
The other tridents like clatter to the deck of the ship.
Hey, free tridents.
Sick. That's going to be Malachi's turn.
So they're within 20 feet now?
Yes, but they're all still in the air, and no one is in melee range with you.
But we do have the tridents that fell. Would it constitute anything for me to take the time to pick one of those up or no?
Sure, if you want to pick one up, that's a free object interaction.
Okay, so while I still have this up, since I have it for a minute, I'm just going to use my action to move the moonbeam. So I'm going to move it to a 5-foot radius of wherever there are the most guys. I can move it 60 feet.
I'm going to say that
So
because what they fundamentally did was take the dash action, you actually
so they
can't...
moved 100 feet, so I can't move it that far. Okay.
Yeah.
If that's the case, do you know what what a trident stats are? Because I have a javelin I can throw, but if a trident is going to be any different than I just use one of those.
Tridents and javelins both do 1d6 piercing. They're essentially identical.
Okay, so I'm going to pick up a trident then because I don't want to throw away my own personal javelin.
Smart. Go ahead and make an attack.
Well, that was a nat 1.
Does not hit.
Malachi impales himself in the foot.
You do have 2 attacks, but it would probably have to be your own javelin, I think.
You know what? Fine. I'll throw my own damn javelin.
Good.
And that is going to be a 19. Does that hit?
Yes, it does. Go ahead and roll your damage.
Oh, shit. I didn't say what I was attacking. What's within range of me?
Within the range of the javelin, anyone.
Okay. I'm going to attack one of the mounts rather than one of the riders. Because A, they look stronger. B, if I can down one of those, hopefully the guys go down too.
Yeah.
I think I'd like to attack the one carrying the 2 leaders.
Cool. Go for it.
And that's a mount that I hit for 19 originally, right?
Yes.
Okay. Oh my god, I rolled a fucking 1. So it's going to be a 5 damage.
Cool. It takes the 5 damage. It does look pretty fucked up, mostly from that moonbeam, but it is still going.
Okay.
Finn, that is you.
All right, first, telepathically, I reach out and try to talk to the mounts and ask one of them, like, hey, what are you doing?
The mounts don't have a swim speed, so you actually can't.
All right, guys, don't worry, the mounts aren't going underwater. Good, establish that. And then I'm going to Eldritch Blast. I hold up my arm with Nurgle on it, and I say, guide my aim. And I Eldritch Blast one of the leader goblins.
Oh, I could see you using him like sights.
Exactly. 18.
Yeah, 18 hits. Go ahead and roll damage.
8 damage.
Okay.
And, oh my god, I forgot, I have 2 Eldritch Blasts now.
Yeah, you do.
And I'm going to put them both at the same guy.
Nice.
That's another 18.
Nice.
And 11 damage. So this dude takes 19 all told.
Yeah, he does. He does not like that at all. He does not look like he's doing well.
Yeah, well, let's see if he likes a tentacle.
Hell yes.
19 to hit.
Go ahead and roll damage.
3.
Cool. He is still going, but he is, like, hanging on by a thread here.
Doesn't have to go like this. You can turn around.
We're going to get to that source of powerful that. He's kind of like, at this point,
You don't even know what it is, do you?
He's sort of like wheezing past his like very broken ribs as you hit him with 2 Eldritch Blasts and also a tentacle.
How much did you hit him for with those?
Altogether, 27 damage.
Holy
in that
shit.
turn.
Yeah, Finn is strong. That's going to be, Regin, that's your turn.
I'm going to shoot the foremost leader mount betwixt the eyes with a crossbow.
Cool.
Now, okay, so this crossbow has something wrong with it, and I don't know what's wrong with it.
Not wrong with it. It's special.
Yeah, but just for consideration, I don't know what this is gonna do.
It's Nira's, right?
Yeah, I stole it, and it's broken, so I don't know what it does.
Why would you steal a broken weapon?
It's a nat 1. Comes to a 7.
It's broken.
Cool.
Not your fault.
It backfires.
Yeah. Yes.
No.
Unfortunate for me that it definitely is supposed to do something on a nat 1, and I don't know if I wrote that down.
Oh, no.
Because sometimes I have thoughts and I don't write them down, so I was just thinking, God, I hope he doesn't roll a nat 1. I think that what it does, so she was, like, messing around with it, I think it gets, like, you go to, so you hold it up and you go to fire, and you're kind of, like, aiming, you just went into a rage, so you're, like, ready for this. And instead, it just starts getting, like, really, really hot in your hands.
What the fuck?
And you take... do make me a Constitution saving throw. You get Malachi's aura.
Yeah, you get a +4 to this.
Comes to a dirty 20.
Comes to a dirty 20. Great. So you pass the save. So as this thing gets super hot in your hands, you only take 4 fire damage from it just getting hot in your hands. And you can choose to hold on to it if you want, or you can drop it, as it very clearly will continue making you take damage.
I see this. I say, Regin, use a trident.
Regin, dunk it in the water to cool it down.
Oh, yeah, or that.
Am I a joke to you guys?
They gave us all these weapons for free.
Yeah.
Be resourceful, Regin.
I chuck it into the water.
Cool. It sizzles slightly as it hits the ocean.
Wait, you let go of it?
Wait, my sister made that!
Oh my god, can I not make the two of you happy in any way?
I didn't mean let it go.
He meant put it down.
I jump into the water as well.
Cool.
All right, we're going.
I just dive. I'm gone.
Cool. Regin hard pivots from what you were trying to convince him of before and starts to dive. Actually, Nolani, as you go below the water for the first time, go ahead and give me a perception check.
That was a nat 20. Comes to a dirty 20 anyways, though, so booyah, baby.
Hell yeah. Cool. So you've got dark vision. It's dark down here because it's the ocean and it's midnight. But with a dirty 20 on perception, you can make out the shape of the reef kind of in front of and below you. You know, it looks like about 500 feet away. And you also see that under the water there is that there are a couple of really, really big, like bigger than you've seen, except kind of like out in the in the wildest parts of the ocean that you've been in your times as a sailor. Sometimes you will see creatures like this, but these are bigger than anything you've seen recently. These enormous sharks.
Yes!
That are just massive, and like the peritons up above, they have these green guys riding on the back of them. And you see them kind of starting to head toward you, but I will say that you can also see that there is a you can see that there is an entrance into the reef that these guys are not going to be able to fit through. So if you can get to that entrance and get through, then you will be able to get away from the giant sharks. Otherwise, these things are big and look hungry, and also look like they are friends with these little green guys who clearly don't like you. So,
we're now in the film The Meg.
Yes.
Hey, Malachi. Regin didn't drink a potion, did he?
No, I was also thinking that.
Okay.
Great. That is Regin's turn. That is the sergeants. They are going to go ahead and... the one that Finn just completely fucked up is going to throw a net at Finn. His mount kind of like swoops closer, and they're going to throw a net at you. That is a...
Joke's on you, I love nets.
Well, does a 15 hit?
No.
Cool. You manage to dodge out of the way of it. The second one behind him, I think, is going to do the same thing, but to Malachi. Damn. No, that's a nat 2. So that does not work. But they throw their nets and miss. That makes me sad. Okay.
Do they land on the boat still?
No, they have not landed.
No, the nets.
Oh yeah, the nets land on the boat. Yeah.
Are they nice nets?
Yeah, they've got like hooks on them.
Oh, nice. We should bring them back to your parents, Finn.
Oh yeah, they'd like that.
The other of these guys are going to go ahead and make attacks. They are going to throw their tridents. This time, 3 of them are going for Finn, and 1's going to go for Malachi. So these are the ones against Finn.
Can I stand in front of Finn?
No. Ooh. Okay, so 1 of those misses, the other 2 hit. Armor class 16, is that right?
Yeah.
Yeah, so 1 of those misses, the other 2 hit. That is... Oh, sorry. Wait, these guys are weaker. Only 1 of them hits. That is... Damn. Just 3 piercing damage. This one's going to throw at Malachi. Okay, not 1. It's fine.
They want me to live.
All over the place now. However, it is now the Peritons' turns. And these guys... Yeah, so they're going to do their dive attacks. So what that means is they are going to come screeching down out of the sky, and they are going to make... Yikes, okay, let's do this. So 2 of them are going to... the first one is going to go after Finn. He's going to go after you. This is first with its gore attack, with these antlers that it has.
Don't like that.
And then it's going to go for you with its talons. So, gore attack.
Should we have run from these guys?
That's an 18 to hit. Finn, you take 5 piercing damage from that one. Second attack with the talons. That's also going to hit. That is a 9 piercing damage.
Ooh.
Second one is also going to go after you with both of its attacks, Finn.
God.
Oh my goodness.
That won't hit. That's a 12 to hit.
Finn, you're getting eaten by a deer.
And then with the talons, this is a 17, Finn. You're going to take, Well, fortunately, I can't roll for damage, so 5 piercing damage from those talons.
That's still pretty bad.
Oh, yes. So sorry, Finn. You also take an additional, this is, the reason that it was bad is because they're diving and they do extra damage when they dive. So from those 2 guys attacking, you get an additional, 8 piercing damage.
Cool, I have 6 health.
Cool. Fortunately, the other 3 are going to go after Malachi. So first, this is a, first gore attack against you, Malachi. That's not going to hit. Talons, does a 14 hit? No, right?
No.
Okay. Second one, that is a, okay, this one hits with the talons, so you take 10 piercing damage from the talons.
10?
Okay, and then, and then this is the last one of the group. Neither of those are going to hit, because you have good armor class.
I sure do.
Cool. That's their turn. Back to the top of initiative. That's Nurgle.
King.
Okay, question.
Yes.
How big are these potions? Could Nurgle hold it in his claws
Ooh.
and, like, ferry it to Regin?
Yeah, I'll let Nurgle do that.
That's so cute.
All right. That's what I want to do. I'm like, Malachi, give Nurgle a potion.
I flipped Nurgle a potion.
All right, Nurgle, take this to Regin. I mean, I assume he'll know what to do, hopefully. Feels like he could figure this one out. And then I drop Nurgle in the water.
Cool. Nurgle takes the potion in his little claws and swims it toward you. Regin, you see him heading toward you. We'll resolve that on your turn. The giant sharks that are down here are just kind of swimming around. They don't appear to have immediately noticed you, but they will kind of on the end of their turn here, they sort of notice you, Regin, and start swimming in your direction. You guys have a head start on them in terms of them not immediately reaching you. Yeah, cool. This is the other basic of these guys' turns. They each had 2 tridents, so they're going to go ahead and throw their tridents again on their second trident.
Oh, real creative. More tridents.
And then they'll be out of weapons.
Finn, do not bait them.
So
I think we're past that being an issue.
2 of them are going to throw at Finn.
I cast Compel Duel. No.
Oh my god. I rolled 2 2s, so neither of them hit.
Yay!
This is these 2 at Malachi. Oh my god. I rolled an 18 and a nat 20. So the 2 that are on one of these guys both take aim at Finn and completely whiff. And then a nat 20. So that is going to be a total of, between the 2 tridents, there we go. Now I can roll.
Great.
Still just 14 piercing damage as these 2 tridents like into you.
Okay.
That is Malachi's turn.
Finn said they can't swim, right?
Yeah, Finn shouted to you that the mounts can't swim. You don't know about the green guys, although some of them are now out of weapons. Malachi, make me, now that they're closer, make me a perception check.
It's going to be an 18.
18. These things look like they are like a hawk with the head of a deer. They can probably do like what a hawk can do and kind of like skim the surface of the water and
But
grab a
not,
fish
like, go
that's right at
under.
the surface, but there's no way these things are diving.
Okay.
Yeah.
Is there anything besides that first guy? Do any of them else otherwise look really fucked up, or is it just that first guy who looks really fucked up?
The first guy looks really fucked up. A bunch of the other ones look pretty fucked up. The ones who took the moonbeam damage, they're all pretty close to being dead, but like there's 4 of them.
Okay. To administer something to someone else is an action, not a bonus action, right?
Correct. To like give someone a potion or a good berry.
Right. Finn, you're at 6. You're pretty bad, right?
Oh, yeah, I'm at 6.
But like the way that initiative is, Malachi, you know that it's you, then Finn, then Regin before any of the other bad guys go.
Okay. All right. I'm going to say to Finn, I'm going after Regin. Take out what you can before you dive in. And I'm going to throw a trident at that head guy one more time. So that's going to be a 19 to hit.
Absolutely hits. Yeah, go ahead and roll damage.
7 damage.
He's gone.
Good.
You trident right through the center of the chest, and he falls backward off his peryton.
Okay.
Ha!
So...
Me, underwater.
Yeah.
How fucked up is the second leader looking? Because I still have one more attack.
The second leader looks healthier than anybody else up here.
Is there anyone that looks really, like, potentially like I could kill them in one hit, or no?
Yeah, the other guys who are, normal guys who got hit by the moonbeam look like they could get killed in one hit.
Okay, I'll leave Finn to go for the other leader, I think, and I'm gonna go for one of those guys. Could I say that I just, like, picked up 2 tridents and boom boom?
Yeah. I'll say that there's so many tridents on the deck now.
Because they've thrown a lot.
You pull one that you got hit with.
I pull the 2 out that they hit me with and just, like, flip them around in my arms and go like that.
Oh, classic Regin.
See, it feels good,
Very
doesn't
hot.
it?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. So that's going to be 23 to hit.
Hits.
And it is going to be 8 damage.
Hell yeah. That's enough to kill him.
Yes!
Yeah, you take out 2 of these guys, and then you turn and jump in the water?
Yes, I take out 2 of those guys, and I think I have everything I need. I jump in the water, presuming that Finn will follow once he makes an attack.
Fantastic. Finn, that is your turn.
Am I allowed to move once I'm in the water, or just diving in is the movement?
Diving in is the movement, and then you have a little bit of movement. You can start swimming.
Can I see Regin and just, like, follow him?
Yep, you can catch up with Regin.
So, alone at last, huh? I'll just blast. I'll just blast the leader. Alright, so one of them I got 12, and the other I got a 25.
12 does not hit, 25 does.
Wow, minimum damage. That's 5 damage.
Okay.
And then the tentacle is still in play.
Hell yeah.
20 to hit. Dirty 20.
Yep, that hits.
And 5 damage.
Cool. He's still up.
Alright.
But he has been hit.
Alright, well, I'll be seeing you. And I jump into the water.
Well, hopefully
Cool.
not.
You jump into the water. You start to dive down after your friends. Regin, your turn.
Do I see everything that's there?
Yeah. So Malachi and Finn, you guys both hit the water. You start to swim. You see the reef 500 feet ahead of you guys. Although, actually, I'm going to say you all get to swim a bit. So it's now, 470 feet ahead of you. There is also these 2 big sharks swimming around. And Finn, you in particular, go ahead and give me an insight check.
16.
16. The green guys, who I'm just going to tell you, they're called colinths. They're like aquatic goblins.
Colinths?
They are like working with these sharks, but like it's a tenuous relationship. You're pretty sure like something could be done here. And also that just like if you guys weren't around, the sharks might just go for them and take out this problem for you.
All right. So talking is a free action. So as I start swimming towards the reef, I just want to telepathically reach out to those sharks and be like, Gentlemen, surely there's no need for this.
Hi.
Hey, nice to meet you. I'm Finn.
Nice to meet you. We're big sharks.
Yeah, I love that. Love that about you.
My name's Bruce.
Very cool. We don't want any trouble here, right?
I mean, I want it. Trouble. Yes, I'm into trouble.
Oh, well, all right. Well, on that we differ. But
We're gonna get a little snack. That's what this
cool.
guy said.
You know who would make a great snack?
Right on your back.
Huh?
The little green guys.
Interesting. They already gave us a snack.
There are more coming.
Right, yeah, but you could have another snack if you eat them.
Ooh, wait, Hannah. If those other ones come into the water, will the sharks smell their blood?
They might.
And in fact, there's 2 appetizers right there. And I point to the corpses that have hit the water.
Finn, go ahead and make me a persuasion check.
14.
Okay. They're listening, but they're not fully convinced yet, and I'm going to say that's all you can say on this turn. We will circle back around to that on your next turn. Regin, that is your turn.
Okay, so I did not intend to swim, actually, away from the boat at all. So when I chucked the crossbow and then dove just to prove a point, it was really just to prove a point. So I'm still, like, under the boat.
But you see us dive in.
And you see Nurgle with a little water-breathing potion offering it out to you.
So cute. Seems weird to call him Nurgle when he's a crab.
Craggle.
That doesn't fix it.
Hannah, given my proficiency in water vehicles, and given that this is a very small fishing boat, and I am a big strong boy, I would like to capsize the boat.
Do we have any stuff in there?
No.
Not really, just a bunch of tridents.
The net's for Finn's parents.
You just want to basically push on the bottom and try and tip the boat over?
I want to, like, reach up and grab it by one side and flip it.
Yeah, make me an athletics check. Recall that you have disadvantage.
Yes.
But also recall that you are raging, so that means you have advantage, so it cancels out to flat. Take whichever one you rolled first.
Damn it! I rolled a 6 and an 18.
Ah.
Okay, that 6 comes to a 12.
12 is not going to do it. You reach up and grab it, it kind of like tips a little bit, but you just don't quite have the momentum to get it to properly flip.
Heck. How long can I hold my breath?
Your constitution modifier.
I got time. +2.
+2, you have 2 minutes.
So here's the thing, though. Since we dove in and I said we were going to swim after Regin, if Regin wasn't swimming, then my first instinct would be to look around for him.
So forget what I said about you being 470 feet from the reef. You guys are all 500 feet from the reef.
Okay. I don't know what Finn did.
Yeah, I'll stay with you guys.
Okay.
Cool.
Okay, so that doesn't work. I'm gonna surface and look around and assess what our enemy situation is.
Make a insight check.
Dove in for a reason.
That's a 13.
The green guys are squaring up to prepare to dive into the water. Their mounts are not going to be able to dive, but could come and attack you if you are right here at the surface of the
There are
water.
8 guys left, right?
All the mounts are still up, one of the leaders, and then 7 normal guys. So yeah, there are 8 guys up. You guys have been hitting all of them for a lot of damage, so like no one looks good, like everyone's taken damage, but
Okay.
a bunch of them are still up.
I would like to attempt to charm the closest Periton.
With what?
My charisma and animal handling ability.
I'm going to tell you straight up that's not going to work.
Okay.
You're welcome to try, but it will not work.
Oh,
Well, Nolani's thinking, yeah. So my armor, does that allow me to speak underwater or no?
No.
So,
But I'm going to say that Finn can telepathically communicate with you.
because I have a swimming speed with this?
Yeah.
But I can't communicate with Regin automatically? Regin would have to do message to me?
Correct.
Malachi, hello.
Oh my god.
You're hearing me through your thoughts. Do not be alarmed.
So this is what it's like for the fish.
Yeah.
Great.
I didn't know you were a fish. This is why.
I'm not. Do I look like a fish, Finn?
I mean, no. But why can I talk to you then?
It's because we're swimming, I assume.
Okay, fuck it, I'll take the stupid potion. Fine!
You grab the potion from Nerd Crab, bonus action to drink it. You can now breathe underwater.
Will Finn be able to communicate with Regin telepathically as well?
I'm going to say yes, because
Okay.
that's easier.
Finn, we're going to have to use you as a middleman since I can't talk to Regin under here.
Aye, aye.
I could talk to you, but I don't want to.
Right, but Finn can talk to you. That's the important part.
Hey, Regin, what's up?
I hate everything.
Yeah, like, what's new, though?
This is so annoying because I can't hear anything that you guys are saying to each other, and you can't hear anything that Finn's saying to me.
Okay, Regin, do you have anything else to do on your
No.
turn?
Hey, Malachi, Regin wanted me to tell you he's sorry for being disrespectful sometimes.
Well, I don't care so much about respect and more just about him not being a fool.
Regin, Malachi says he's sorry for sometimes being overbearing.
What? Why is this coming up now?
Yeah, he totally said that.
Regin and I are making confused, suspicious eyes at each other.
All of the Colinths, so the one sergeant that's left and then the other 3 that go after you guys in initiative, they do something with their action up on the surface that you guys can't see. And then at the end of each of their turns, you see all 4 of them hit the water and start swimming toward you.
Towards us? Not towards the reef?
Actually, you know what? Good point. They are just going to start swimming toward the reef. However, you guys didn't, so they're a little bit ahead of you, but they do seem to be slower than you. That is going to be Nurgle's turn.
I'll keep Nurgle to help me. Give me advantage on whatever I do.
Hella. The giant sharks swim toward you guys. These are huge frickin' sharks. I mean, they are like truly enormous. Look like they have just so many hit points. And they swim fast. And they distinctly are smelling the blood in the water. So they're for sure smelling the Colinth blood in the waters, but they're also smelling you guys' blood in the water. And I'm going to say that with this, they were pretty far away, but with this, they kind of come up, so they're not quite in melee with you guys, but they're like very close.
Were I to heal us, would they still be like coming after our blood scent, or would it be like it sort of goes away?
I don't think you know.
Okay. Because, like, we would obviously stop bleeding, but I guess our blood would still be in the water.
The blood goes back inside.
That is the other colons that were still up top. You see that all 4 of them also into the water. Malachi, that is your turn.
Okay.
And they're going to start swimming for the reef.
I wish I had a way to communicate with Regin. I know they're big, so they're special in that regard. But these sharks don't...
I'm anticipating your question. They look like they're just big sharks. They don't look like they're magic or anything like that.
They're not, like, super smart?
No.
Okay.
I want to telepath to both Regin and Malachi and be like, I think I can talk the sharks onto our side. Don't antagonize them.
Okay.
Oh, be my fucking guest.
I was thinking about commanding, but I think that's probably better. All right. Finn. You have 10 good berries of your own, right?
Do I?
Lee sent you 10 good berries.
Oh, yeah.
It looks as though Malachi's holding those, according to the magic items document.
Yeah. According to the magic items document, Malachi just has everything.
I have everything?
So,
okay.
And you guys never divvied it up separately, so...
I guess I'm the bad guy.
You're my executor.
What if I'm not if I don't have to administer them to him, but I'm just giving them to him for him to take? That doesn't count as my action, right?
Object interaction.
Okay.
Yeah.
So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to hand Finn the good berries for him to consume on his bonus action.
Nice.
So you can take 10 of those. That'll put you at 16. You're looking pretty rough. I'm also going to... I think I'm going to lay hands you for 10. Does that sound good?
Nice. Oh, it sounds very good.
Okay. So wordlessly, like, I lay my hand on Finn's shoulder. I pass him the good berries. And then...
Ooh, a treat.
I want to gesture at him and Regin. And I'm going to point towards the hole in the reef, and I'm going to start swimming that way. I think I can get 30 feet since I'm not taking a dash.
Cool. You start swimming in that direction. Finn, that is your turn.
All right. So I'm going to scarf those good berries. That's
Nice.
a bonus action?
Yeah.
All right. So I'm going to talk to the sharks some more. And be like, hey, cool. All right. Yeah, nice to get up close and personal. Yeah, so those those corpses right there, they're not even going to put up any kind of resistance. You can just go to town. And,
do you see how big my teeth are? I could just chomp a little snack.
I mean, yeah, it's all right. That's true. That's true. You're a discerning, big-toothed customer.
You should tell him that Reagan's a sparky guy, and the rest of us aren't going to be too... Tell him I'm made of rock. I'm not going to be good.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, just so you know, this guy over here, he's straight up made of rock. Like, that's not going to be an enjoyable eating experience.
True.
Whereas these little green guys, they're nice and succulent. I can just tell.
You can tell because you've killed them.
They do smell... Blood smells good.
Yeah.
Finn, make me another persuasion check.
And can I have Nurgle help with this?
Yeah, you can.
By, like, making some aquatic animal noises?
Yeah.
Snaps his claws.
24.
Oh, hell yeah. Cool. Yeah, Nurgle is actually what Nurgle's doing is Nurgle is, like, up behind Finn's head and kind of, like, waving his claws almost kind of, like, threateningly.
Is he like a big crab?
No, he's just a normal-sized crab. But he looks kind of scary as he's doing it.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, Finn, you do that. They look pretty convinced that they would rather go after these guys than you.
Nice. Hey, if you ever need a hand, just call me. My name's Finn.
Well,
I don't have a cell phone.
After we eat these guys, we'll probably eat you too. Snacks.
Wow.
That's fair.
Finn?
Wow. Okay.
Nothing personal.
No, I get it.
You seem chill.
I swim away.
Cool.
I swim away
Start
towards
swimming.
the gate after Malachi.
Hell yeah.
I'm gonna dash, so I'm gonna swim 60
Cool.
feet towards the reef.
Finn takes off toward the reef.
As he passes, I'm like, we good with the sharks?
Oh yeah, well, for now.
Cool.
Okay. That's all we need.
We're a low priority for the sharks.
You can always get him another snack, your dad being the lurker and all. Although, I don't know, if you'd be willing
That's
to...
true. I didn't want to pull rank on them like that and be a jerk about it. But I might.
Would that compromise Finn's morals to summon a bunch of fish for these sharks to eat? Because the sharks are also swimming creatures?
I will not do that.
Regin, that is your turn.
I really angrily swim after the other two.
Great. Are you taking a dash?
Yeah, I guess I'll dash.
Go ahead and make me an athletics check. With advantage from kind of dragging the drag from Malachi and Finn.
19.
Cool. You manage to keep pace with them. So you are now... So Finn is 420 feet from the reef. Malachi and Regin are both... well, Malachi's at 460. Regin is at...
Question.
Yes?
I'm the kid asking for homework right now, but I don't want us to get called out by our listeners. Shouldn't Regin's check there be a flat score?
Oh, true. What was the first one you rolled?
You give our fans so much credit. 12.
Okay. No, with a 12, that's still fine. You're able to keep pace with them with a 12 because of squat nimbleness is how I'm justifying this. Your speed is already higher.
And I'm an experienced swimmer. And
you're a sailor, yeah.
You know what? Actually, you know what, Nolani? I'm not sorry for this. You deserve to be punished for not sleeping.
Cool. That is the Colinth's turns. They're also swimming. They're keeping pace with you guys, but they're slower, so they're kind of like around where Malachi is.
Okay.
Nurgle, what do you want him to do, Finn?
Stick with me and help.
Hell yeah. This is the giant sharks. I was gonna have this be a luck check thing, but with a 24 persuasion, they're just gonna start going for the Colinths. So one of them is going to go ahead, and he is just going to try and bite one of the nearest ones.
Very cool.
Love this for us.
He hits. And the other one also hits. They only have one attack each, but it does a bunch of damage. I'm going to see if either of the Colinths make it through this.
This is very good.
Absolutely not. And... Oh, bad damage. Hey, the second one actually pulls through. He is actively being eaten by a shark. So, cool. Hell yeah, that is going to be Malachi's turn.
This time I am going to dash, so I'm going to swim 60 feet.
Sick. You are now 400 feet from the mouth of the reef. That is going to be Finn.
Yeah, I'm just going to dash.
Cool. You are 360 feet away from the mouth of the reef. That's going to be Regin. That is your turn.
I don't want to hurt the sharks. The sharks are distracted. I don't have any magic spells that can be used. I am breathing underwater, despite not liking it at all.
What do you have against breathing underwater?
It's fucking unnatural is what it is.
Wow, rude to Finn.
Finn's fucking unnatural is what he is.
Can't argue with that.
Yeah. Finn is learning a lot of really new fun words from listening inside Regin's head. Hannah, can I make an Arcana check? Arm hair check.
Just in general?
Yeah, I just want to get a sense of what's going on down here. Does it feel, like, bad? Like, am I like, fuck, I hate this? Or is it like, oh, the arm hair's kind of like this? Or is it like...
Oh, yeah. Go ahead and make an Arcana check.
It's a 5.
5? Your arm hairs are distracted by the sudden ability to breathe underwater and also the giant fucking sharks. You get the sense that you might be able to get a more clear sense of what the hell this feels like when you're closer to
Alright,
it.
I'll dash after Finn then.
Cool. You guys dash. You are beginning to get closer. Regin's at 380. That's all the Colinths. They are also dashing, although now with significantly more panic because of the sharks.
So funny.
And I'm actually going to say that if you guys are willing to just, as I'm doing the math ahead in my head here.
Assume that we're all dashing.
If you guys are all going to dash, what's going to happen is the sharks are going to spend their time eating the Colinths. They're slower than you, so you guys can outpace them, and you will hit the reef before the sharks do.
Okay.
So unless anybody wants to do anything else in this combat, we can just, I've done the math.
Totally
we can fast
cool with
forward.
skipping all that dashing.
So you guys speed ahead. I will simply narrate over a couple of rounds here. You guys speed ahead, and you see the sharks eat all of the Colinths.
Very cool.
I love that.
My guy.
I'm actually going to say a couple of them are maybe smart enough to swim back up and go get on their peritons and go away, because they spent time telling their peritons to like wait for them. So a couple of them swim back up and get away, but the rest get eaten by the sharks. And then the sharks do turn and start coming after you guys, but they're not quite fast enough. And you guys just Finn first, and then Malachi, and then Regin. You just squeeze through this little hole in the reef. It's not that little. It's like like a doorway sized, but too small for the sharks. And you guys get in, and you find yourselves inside the winding passages of this coral reef, as behind you, you see a big shark mouth kind of like at the entrance of the reef. But you guys are safely inside. And that is where we will end this session, as we will begin tracing our way through the coral and to the center of power, whatever is waiting there next session.
Very fun.
Good job, guys.
Oh my god.
Okay, thank you so much for listening, everybody. If you like us and want more of our content, you can find us on social medias at Ship of Fools Cast on Twitter, Tumblr, and Instagram. And you can also find us for a lot more content at patreon.com/shipoffools, where we have our exclusive after show where we talk about what happened in the episode and what our thoughts are on it, as well as some bonus one-shots and our bonus campaign folio and some other fun stuff. So check us out. And thank you, as always, to the people who make this show work. Thank you to Lucas Mangold for our beautiful theme music. You can find him for all your music needs at lucascarlmusic@gmail.com. That is Carl with a K. And thank you to Theo Golden for our beautiful logo. You can find him on Instagram at @tgoldenart. And hey, thank you to you, the listener. Seriously, thanks for listening. Tell your friends about the show. And catch us again with our next episode as we discover what's going on in Gillsbury on June 22nd. Until then, we will see you on the open seas.